Sam and Max Save the World, censored jokes and recast a voice actor. Developer says they forgot all about them prior to launch. The reason they're making up these excuses is the developer pretty much promised that the game's not going to be censored. And then the game launches censored, and they're like, oh, we just forgot about all the censorship we did. Skunk Games have censored several jokes in Sam and Max Save the World and recast a voice actor for not sharing the race of their character. A remaster of Telltale Games Sam and Max Season 1 was launched December 2nd on Windows PC and the Switch. Soon after, fans noticed several changes. These changes include censorship to jokes and references that some might find offensive. Well, what if you find censorship offensive? No one cares about you, I guess. The noted changes include the following. Editor's note, some of the text below may be considered spoilers. Okay, so at least, so you may want to, if you're actually concerned about spoilers for Sam and Max, that's been your warning. So let's see what changes. So altering a fake name a character goes under while disguised as an exaggerated stereotype of a Frenchman. Oh, okay. So it was like, so the exaggerated stereotype was more like a Pierre, and a current year exaggerated Frenchman would be more like Mohammed. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I mean, you have to bring it up with the times. Altering a joke about tear gas being able to clear out a room full of militant college students now no longer being a joke. Ah, man. But back then, they predicted this shit. Removed a joke about a character having a sex change. Removed mention of skinheads in a joke. Altering a license plate that alluded to a character being a drug dealer, now implying they are an arms dealer. Removing mention of special needs children in a joke. Altering a joke where a character suggests one of the avatars people can use on the internet include a hot young 15-year-old girl curious about the adult world and willing to experiment. Yeah, that was one of those old jokes that was it. On the internet, all women are men and all girls are FBI agents, but that's fine. No, characters no longer use the slang foo, typically associated with Black and African American subculture and stereotypes. No, that's only associated with Mr. T. That's it. So if you guys have been looking forward to Sam and Max, play the original. Even remasters aren't safe. You guys remember how I was always saying that I prefer remasters to remakes? Just give me the old game as it is with a few improvements. Now they're fucking up all the remasters too. So in this day and age, I swear to God, when I hear news that a developer is going to touch some old IP I used to like, man, my heart just sinks in dread right now. Because current year developers lack the ability to do the classics justice. They should just stay the fuck away from them. This is going to be just like those fucking art fixers in Spain. You remember that old granny who fixed that classical Jesus artwork and made him look like a monkey? That's basically what it's like when current year developers try to remaster a classic old game. You got a bunch of talentless hacks that just literally ruin everything that made the original good in the first place. Leave it the fuck alone. Fans also noticed the voice actor for Bosco had changed. And while the original was voiced by Joey Kamen, Morrison and Goliath in Devil May Cry 5, he is now voiced by Ogie Banks, Vulture in Spider-Man Current Year -3 cartoon, Luke Cage in several cartoons and games, and Buddy in Final Fantasy X-2. Wow, I haven't played that in a while. While unconfirmed, it could be possible this was due to a recent outcry over TV series such as The Simpsons having white voice actors and actors portraying non-white characters. We need an outcry for the opposite right now, to be honest with you. That's what we need to do. Every time you see a non-white voice actor voicing a white character, you need to raise as much of a stink as they're doing about this. Make sure this shit can't, they can't have double standards. It's gonna go both ways. Oh, if you don't like it one way, stop doing it the other way, motherfucker. It's not hard. So Kamen is white while Banks is African American. Well, another option would be to make the character white. I wonder if that would have gone over. Yeah, Kamen had kept his role as Jimmy Two Teeth, a rat in the game. Oh, so you're saying that he's a rat then? So he is more in common with a rat than a black dude. That's weird. Okay. Could be a little bit insulting, but we'll see. Around December 4th, it was discovered Skunk Games' frequently asked questions on the game had been updated to include new information regarding the censorship. While they deny they censored a ton of jokes, Skunk Games admits to small tweaks to a few jokes that they felt uncomfortable including in a game in current year. All right. Okay. I see how it is. So first they promised no censorship. Now they're like, we tweaked a few small things that we were uncomfortable with. That's literally what censorship is. Okay, that's what it is. If you do not have the balls to do this game justice, stay the fuck away from it. I can't stand these talentless current year hacks constantly ruining the old classics. I'm gonna stay away from all remakes, remasters, any attempts to dip back into an IP that's pretty much been dormant for decades. I'm staying the fuck away from that shit. Because it's guaranteed they're gonna fuck it up. They're not going to do the original justice. If I see that a game I used to love is getting a remaster, I'm going to go play the original with maybe some graphic upgrade patches or something. That'll be so much better. Skunk Games go further, stating the changes were so minimal that we forgot all about them when we first posted this frequently asked questions, and their belief that the changes do not alter the game experience. You can find that section below. So here's what they added. But wait, I read online you censored a ton of jokes. And it's true. But they lie and say, nope, not true. We made a few small tweaks to a few jokes we were uncomfortable including in a game in 2020. AKA, you censored them. These changes were so minimal, we forgot all about them when we first posted this. These don't change the game experience, and we feel strongly that it was the right thing to do. Unless you go looking for them, you probably won't even notice. I'm experiencing a little bit of schadenfreude here, I'm not going to lie. Because remember when the anime titties were being censored? And all these fart-sniffing holier-than-thou hipsters were looking down their noses at us like, it doesn't affect the gameplay any. Oh, if you want anime titties, just go watch hentai. Ugh. Now we get to laugh at them because these fucking hipsters are the target audience for a game like this, actually. And now they're the ones crying, and we get to watch as the same fucking arguments they used against us are now being used against them, which is pretty damn hilarious. Like, oh, well, they're just small changes. Oh, they don't affect the gameplay any. Oh, unless you go looking for the censorship, you're not even going to notice. Does any of that sound familiar? I do not feel sorry for him, to be honest with you. But in case I had fans of this game in my chat, in my audience, I had to make you guys aware, which is why I'm talking about it. And also so I can point and laugh at people. Prior to this and the game's launch, the developer for the game, going by FOV, elaborated on the then current frequently asked questions on Steam. They explained to users that based on the other text, some camera angles and comedic timing had been altered to make the jokes land better, along with added polish for the overall experience. But they forgot to mention the censorship. Replying to user Tom S. Fox on November 21st, again prior to the game's launch, Fox stated that the game would not have any altered lines. Real weird, isn't it? It's almost as if they were lying because they know no one likes censorship. This is what I can't stand about the current year game industry and why I always wait 6 months. These guys know their audience doesn't take well to censorship. So instead of just not censoring, they decide to try to sneak it in. And then they're like, oh, when they get caught, it's like, oh, it's just a small thing. I hardly even count that as censorship. Yeah, fuck you. This is why no one's ever going to pre-order your shit. This is why everyone's going to wait 6 months to verify that you kept your word. Gust, Koei Tecmo, sorry, had something stuck in my throat right there. Tom S. Fox then stated they would pre-order the game. Sucker! What do I say, man? Unless it's a freaking indie game, never fucking pre-order. Wait 6 months. And not even just censorship. Yeah, there's a lot of ways they get around censorship. Sometimes, like they do the Gust and Koei Tecmo method. Some companies just lie and say it's not going to be censored, and then they release it uncensored so they can, claim they weren't lying, and then they promptly censor it with a day one censorship patch. That's what some of them do. Some of them censor the game way, way, way later, like is the case with a lot of live services. A lot of live service games, sometimes they go on years before they get censored. And by then, they got people with years of investment in them, so they're kind of trapped. Others are censorship via DLC. We've already seen this with, was it One Piece World Seeker and Berserk Band of the Hawk, where the game just moves some quote-unquote spicy material to DLC, and they release the main game completely uncensored so they can claim they weren't lying. And then they just conveniently don't bring the DLC over to America with all the good stuff people actually want. And it's not just censorship. It's not just censorship, man. They also do this shit with money milking money transactions. Fucking microtransactions, man. That's what Activision has been doing. That's what they did with Call of Duty. They released the game with no fucking obnoxious microtransactions and loot boxes, waited like 2 months for all the positive reviews to come pouring in, and everyone is just showering the game with praise. Then they put the microtransactions in. So wait 6 months. Don't ever trust these companies. Look, these companies know what people like and don't like. And instead of giving the customers what they actually want, what they actually like, they insist on getting shadier and sneakier when it comes to giving them shit they don't want. So stop trusting these companies. Don't ever pre-order. Wait 6 months. If the game is still as promised 6 months after release and it's not a live services are never safe. Like I said earlier, they could be censored years later. But if it's not a live service game and it's still decent 6 months in, that's when you consider buying it. So after they lied to this guy and he pre-ordered the game, this post would be edited on December 3rd, stating, "Turns out a few lines were changed. I didn't know that when I made this post. Yeah, sure, just feign ignorance. That's going to save you. I'm sorry about any confusion that caused." Once users began to discover the censorship, they became disappointed and outraged, with Tom S. Fox stating, "And that may have been the last time I ever bought something from you." Hopefully, he was able to refund it. While a few stated they were fine with the changes, well, let them be the target audience then. Many said they felt they had been lied to because they were lied to. Some took this further, stating Skunk Games had lied and used false advertising, hiding any information about censorship prior to the game's launch. Hey, just like Koei Tecmo and Gust. Several users also stated they had refunded the game. All users should be refunding this shit. But either way, this is why you wait and see. This is why you wait 6 months. Don't pre-order, don't buy games at launch, wait. Again, with the exception being like indie games. Because honestly, indie developers, if they're making games that are actually decent, they could use the money before 6 months. Because your average indie developer isn't sitting on hundreds of millions of dollars that could ride the company through the development cycle. So they could actually use it. And indie developers, by the way, unlike these giant corporations, indie developers know they only have one chance. Indie developers are fully aware if they fuck up with their audience, that's it, man. It's over for them. But AAA and AA, if especially the ones that have deceived you in the past, never trust them again. I'm not saying never buy from them, but if they, again, like Gust and Koei Tecmo, After the fucking fairy tale lies those companies pulled, I'm going to wait 6 months for all of their games before I even consider buying them. And I bet that by the time 6 months rolls around, I'm no longer going to care about those games. That's where the real tragedy comes in. So let's say that they keep their word this time and they don't fuck with Ryza 2. 6 months later, I'm probably not going to care about that game, to be honest. So I'm just not going to get it because of that. And well, they did that to themselves, man. Maybe I'll pick it up a few years later when it's on sale for like $10 with all the DLC included. Because that's another thing Gust and Koei Tecmo do. They are so fucking exploitative with the fucking DLC in their games. Not to the level of fucking Dead or Alive, thankfully, or Train Simulator, but pretty damn bad. So I'll just wait until that's all included in one package. Oh, better yet, maybe the whole fucking trilogy. Maybe I'll wait till the entire trilogy is on sale with all the DLC included. Hell yeah. I could do that. Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.